this traffic calming concept. What we're dealing with is what the Federal Administration Research and Technology Group are calling traffic calming. You'll never guess what city they used for examples on the federal, or should I say, the unconstitutional Department of Transportation. Well, the city they used, if you peruse through this, and I'm going to put the link up on the website, on my KSBN podcast page, down at the important things of the show at the bottom of the podcast. Go look at that link, and you can see how they're bragging about Bellevue being the one that's leading the way, or giving them these great examples of how to traffic calm or calm the traffic. And so online is where the DOT are basically giving you these descriptions, and this is right on the top of their website. Traffic calming has been defined in traffic calming state of the practice as follows. Traffic calming is the combination of mainly physical measures that reduce the negative effects of motor vehicle use. So the negative effect of a motor vehicle use is the fact that you're able to get to work and live a lifestyle that you want in a home with some property and so forth. They don't like that. That's the negative effect. They need to move you from where you are down into the city so that they can manage you better, because you shouldn't have property. You need to be living in city housing, because if you understand Agenda 21, this is exactly how these policies are being molded to meet in with Agenda 21, Agenda 2030. So anyway, I digress. Alter driver behavior and improve conditions for non-motorized street users. Like Tim Ben almost got hit. Anyway, they continue. In this state of the practice report, route modification, traffic control devices, and streetscaping, there's a new word for you, were distinguished as being separate from traffic calming. And that streetscaping is going to take legs. It's going to grow legs, and it's going to go everywhere. In many cities, however, these techniques, as well as education and enforcement, are also included in traffic calming programs. Figures 20, TAC 1 shows schematic examples of traffic calming and devices and elements. And so I just ask you to go look at this. This is what's being rammed down your throat as this city takes more and more money. And let me be clear here. There is no doubt in my mind why they are affecting the north-south laterals that are moving into the city. And why? Because they're protected by this natural barrier called a river. And so the only way for you to get into city proper is through these main routes, Monroe, Crestline, so forth, to getting down towards the city. Well, why are they doing this? Because it doesn't affect the elitist progressives who are pushing this policy. They know that this is an encumberment. They know that this will impact your ability to get into town. Well, I say this, that you need to stop going. They're forcing you into population centers so that they can control you better. If you have property, and I know they're trying to create these fixes, but I'm telling you, if you continue to let these people control your life, they will take, because that's their job. And it's your job to make so that they can take. They've also imposed restrictions on the flow of commerce throughout the state, whether it be Bellevue, as I talked about last week, and what they're doing right here in Spokane, that's called traffic calming. They've started inserting roundabouts throughout the city. They're using them in the highways now. This is insane. Are you kidding me? And they're arguing that these roundabouts are more efficient and cheaper than putting lights up. As far as I'm concerned, most of these places, like out on the 2 going out by Airway Heights, they really needed to put a roundabout right there. If you look at the amount of traffic that is basically injecting itself into that highway at that point, I cannot see a justification of why they're impacting commerce to that degree. So the trucks or anybody moving commerce along that highway has to be restricted like that every time they traverse that road, when before they never had to. And it's not like there's that many vehicles that are interjecting themselves. If there is going to be that much traffic, then that's where you put a light instead of putting roundabouts. And to fix that down the road, that's even going to cost more money. This traffic calming in your neighborhood and traveling to work and in your communities, these things are only hindering you, and it adds up over time. It's going to cost you money as you have to break and lose the efficiency of your travel by having to go around a roundabout and safely navigate those things, as well as being pinched into single lane traffic instead of having the full flow of a 2-lane. What they should have been doing was opening these things up to 3-lane traffic and so forth. I don't understand why they want to encumber you in your pursuit of getting to work and going to pick up the kids. Whatever it is you have to do, folks, it is not government's job to restrict you. It's government's job to ensure you can safely and freely flow. And the roundabout doesn't make anything safer. It has nothing to do with safer. It has everything to do with controlling and restricting. And that's why I posted that information last week or talked about it. And if you go to the DOT traffic calming, just Google that. You will find all the information necessary in getting into why they are doing this, because they are trying to change your behavior. It has nothing to do with saving lives. Just like that's what they use the justification for these cameras, these traffic cameras. Oh, it saves lives, when actually it's been proven that they don't. They actually cause more accidents and property damage, and affect more and more people's lives. I-90 and 405 on the west side is another excellent example of how the Democrats and the progressives have destroyed this state. I used to live over there. In the 60s and 70s, they made all sorts of improvements on those freeways. They haven't touched those freeways since. I mean, the minor improvements that they've made in certain spots is irrelevant compared to the other spots, like down by Renton, going from Bellevue into Mercer Island and so forth. Those are the exact same lanes that they have today that they had back in the 70s. And I can't believe that the people aren't clamoring to say, open up traffic, improve our ability to get in and out